stop now. Now it's perfect. Okay. So we will start this session, and let's start with about the chevening. What is the chevening? Then after this, uh, I will try to demonstrate how to fill the chevening form and how to write the essays. And in the end, there will be the question and answer session. So write down your questions. If you have any question, you can write down your question. In the end, you will be given the sufficient opportunity to ask the questions. Or if you are hesitant enough, then you can just type your question. We will see your questions and we will try to respond to each of your questions. So let's start. What's Chevening? Chevening is UK government's flagship scholarship award, and it's funded by Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, which is popularly known as FCDO Office of UK government. So Chevening is much more than a fully funded scholarship. आप आप just fully funded तक जो है उसको महदूद ना रखें, because through Chevening you will have 1 year masters in UK, but you have a long-term networking, lifelong leadership, and lifelong impact. So it's much more than a scholarship. That's why it's known as the award rather than the scholarship. बाकी जितनी भी scholarships हैं वो they are known as the scholarships, but Chevening, specialty of Chevening is that's an award by UK government, and it's highly competent. It represents top 2% of world's talent. So you can see the level of competition is there. So before starting thinking about the Chevening, that why should I be funded by the UK government, you should think why Chevening should fund you being a leader. Do you have the leadership qualities? Do you have the capacity to have an impact in your community? If answer is yes, then of course Chevening is for you. The vision of Chevening is to make the global network of exceptional leaders for the sustainable future. So Chevening में आप application form fill करें till the end, you will hear these words like leaders, like networkers. So Chevening is all about the leaders and all about the networking. Yes, and Chevening के थ्रू आप यूके गवर्नमेंट यूके की किसी भी अपनी मनपसंद यूनिवर्सिटी में किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी में 1 year के मास्टर्स के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. That's all about that. And what will you gain from the Chevening? There are two benefits. One is the academic, other is the non-academic benefit. Through the academic, you will have the access to the world-class universities, world-class experts, and state-of-art facilities. These are academic benefits, and you will get the degree, which will be highly recognizable, and that has the worth or value. Beside that, the most important thing is the non-academic benefit of Chevening. Through the Chevening, you have an access of 60,000 plus leaders and change makers who are the policy makers already in the world. And currently there are 22 heads of the state are the Cheveners. Means in the world, like 22 prime minister or presidents are the Cheveners. So 60,000 is just the number of the Chevening alumni. But in UK, you will have unlimited like opportunity for your networking. That will be in the form of like Chevening alumni, current Chevening scholars, maybe the British alumni, maybe NGOs, maybe the volunteering organizations, maybe your academic professionals, your professors, and a number of the organizations are there. And on an average, on daily basis, you are doing the networking with the people. So that's what my experience is, that on daily basis I'm doing networking with a number of the people. I have the access, and being a Chevening scholar, I have the access to three-dimensional access for the network to the leaders. So who's Chevening for? If you have this is the check for you. You should check that whether Chevening is for you or not. Number one, you should be a citizen of 140 plus countries that are the Commonwealth countries, and Pakistan comes in that country. So yes, well enough, you are passed for this category. Number two requirement is you should have the undergraduate degree, and that qualifies you for the masters, and that should be at least done 2 years before, like in October 2024. If you have completed this degree or before that, then you are eligible. Number third requirement is that you should have experience of 2 years, which is roughly equals to the 28 and 800 hours of your experience. So that experience should be after the graduation degree. If you have the experience like with during your academics or university के दौरान अगर आपकी कोई experience है, that will not be counted. So keep in mind, if you have experience after the graduation, then it will be counted. So if you are fulfilling all these three conditions, then well enough, and you are fit for the Chevening. Also, there is another requirement. If you have the examples of the leadership, if you have the examples of like networking and impact, then Chevening is for you. So from the leadership, that doesn't mean that you have uh, uh, you have remained on a job as a manager or CEO, or you can say as a project coordinator or director. No, no. Leader is not about that, about the title. Leader is about the actions. If you have done some actions and that has the fruitful results, then you are the leader. So it's not necessary that you are not belonging to a famous organization or NGO or company, or if you're not, your title is not like attractive like manager or something, that's not the true definition of a leader. So if you have the examples of a leadership in your life and networking, then Chevening is for you. So for applying the Chevening application is very user friendly and very straightforward. Even a school student can fill the Chevening application. So just go to the chevening.org and there click the apply, and you can easily fill the application in one way. That's very straightforward and very user friendly. There is a roadmap for Chevening. These are the simplest steps for Chevening. Like once you will apply, after application, you will be shortlisted for the interview. And if you qualify the interview, then you will be finally selected, and there will be visa process and university processing. Then you will go for the studying the UK. That's straightforward and very simple. Steps are very simple. So these are the key dates. Like in August to October, applications are open. So now the applications are open. Now you can apply. The last date for application is 6 October. So you must fill your application before 6 October. And the result of these applications will come in the mid of February. And there will be the interviews of shortlisted candidates in March and April. And the results of the interview will come in June and July. And if you qualify the like interviews, then you are ready to fly to UK in September 2027. Yeah. So for understanding the online application form, you must first register yourself with your phone number and email ID and complete the eligibility checker. Once you will log in, there will be eligibility survey. And that is very easy. It will take hardly 1 minute. It will ask from you do you belong to the Commonwealth country? Do you have experience? Like when you will click all these things, and then you will be eligible, and you will get a unique code. So you must save that unique code, because you will need that code throughout the process. So once you will open the Chevening application, I have already mentioned, that's very straightforward. First, you have to enter your personal data, then your education, then your experience, then you have to enter your three course choices of three different universities. Then you have to add the two references of these references can be your academic, can be the professional, or you can say that one reference can be academic and one can be the professional. It's completely fine that you can give the two references as a professional to have two references as a academic. So it's up to you, entirely up to you. And the most important thing are the 4 Chevening essays. These are the heart of your application process. So I can say like 95% of application is success depends upon your essays. So here I will give you a tip, like you must draft your essays on Microsoft Word rather than on the like application portal, because due to the internet issue, you may lose the connectivity, and you can like you have to draft 300 words for each essay. So if you will start typing on the application portal, if there is an internet issue, you will lose your whole work. So it's good strategy that you should like draft your essays on a Word file, then just copy and paste in onto the application portal. That's quite simple and straightforward. And now I will try to discuss all these four essays because these are the heart of the essay. So before that, there are the few questions about the work experience. So I have already mentioned that work should be counted. Work experience will be counted if you are mentioning the work which is done after your graduation. That work can be in the form of full-time work or part-time work, even the volunteering, even the internships, paid or unpaid internships, they are counted. So UK government is much more flexible for that. So experience shouldn't mean that you have got a full-time job. No, if you have done volunteering, that's also your experience, and that can be in the multiple roles. So now we are coming to the most important part, that's the essays of your Chevening application that are most important. So there are four essays. Number one is leadership, then networking, then course choice, and last one is the career plan. So we will discuss one by one. Let's move towards the leadership essay. So you know the paper is already out. Questions are already given that you have to write or draft the leadership according to these sub questions. There are three sub questions, like what was the context or what was the problem. Like you have to give any example of your life when you come across a problem, what actions did you took, and what were the results, and what did you learn from that example. So that's very simple. So in leadership we say you like as I have already mentioned, leadership is not about your title, like CEO, like manager or coordinator. Leadership is not about your the affiliation within organization. Like if you have the popular, you are belonging to the popular organization or unpopular, that's completely fine. And if you are supervising a number of people or not supervising to any, that's completely fine. Leadership is not about that role. Leadership is about the influencing the people. Like let me give an example. There are two persons. One person says, okay, I am the leader, I am the CEO of that company, or I am a manager of that company, and that's much more famous in my country, and I am supervising like 100 people. Okay, that looks attractive, but that's not the leadership. I'm giving another example. There's a person who says, I am an employee in an organization. I'm not supervising to anyone. But during the project, I found there was, for let's say, there's an example, there was less community engagement in my project. So I discussed with the community that what is the problem, why you are not engaging with this project. So they say there is a, say for example, cultural issue. So I research that, and then I discuss this with my management, that there is the less community engagement, and the reason is the cultural reason. So because of this action, my management redesigned the project. So here I can see the that person identify the problem. Here I can see the discussion. Here I can see the influence, because of that person, the management redesigned the project. So that is the true leadership. Leadership is not about the role. Leadership is about the actions. What actions did you took, and what were the results? So that's most important, because many people, like in their essay, there I'm like frequently coming across the different essays of the people. They are just writing their titles. I've supervised like this, and that is the reason. That's why the reading committee of Chevening is rejecting them, because there's no any like action in these examples. And another thing in leadership, I would say, you for writing the leadership essay, you must follow the STAR approach. STAR: situation, task, action, and result. What was the problem? What task you were assigned, and what were the actions done by you, and what were the results. So you should craft your essay by keeping the STAR approach in your mind. Like, again, in STAR approach, you have to focus more on A and R, like actions on and on the results. Because in many applications I came across and see that people are like लोग सबसे ज्यादा फोकस करते हैं कि वो प्रॉब्लम क्या था, लाइक वो कहते हैं कि ये प्रॉब्लम था. लाइक लीडरशिप ऐसे लाइक काउंटेड फॉर 300 words, and 300 in 150 words they just talk about the problems or the challenges, and in the remaining 50% of the words they talk about their actions and about the results. So I would suggest that no, in in the about the problem, you just write 1 or 2 sentences that was the problem, because the reading committee is not much more interested about the problem. The problem is not your effort, but reading committee want to see what were the actions done by you for this problem. So that is most important. Like as I have given the example, there was less community engagement in a project. So you just mentioned that there was less community engagement in this project. That's it. That was the problem. Then what actions did you took? That is most important. Like you meet with the community notable persons, you discuss this issues, the why you are not getting engaged. Then you got their points. Then you recorded their points and you discuss with your management, and then your management further done meetings with you, and then that redesigned the project. And after this redesigning, the community engagement increased. That's the outcome. So in your leadership essay, you should focus more on the actions and on the result. And in the results, again, I would say that you should be truthful. But throughout the like in the application, you should remain truthful rather than exaggerating the things. Like for example, you will say, okay, there was a community engagement issue, and because of my intervention and community management redesigned the project, and there was 100% like community engagement. That's not possible, because that's not natural. Again, there will be an issue, because if because of your intervention community engagement increased to 1%, that's your achievement. There's no need, like you say, that because of my intervention and the result is that the community will be 100% engaged. That's not possible. That's not natural. So try to be natural. Try to be to add the things which are which would look like real, rather than just fantasies. So in leadership, you have to, like, third thing I would say, like, don't use the word we. Try to use the word I, because leadership, they want to see what were your core actions. Because of that actions, there will be the fruitful results. So sorry, but you have to remain selfish in this essay. You have to talk more about yourself rather than as a team. You have to talk because of me, because of my this action, and these were the results. So you have to remain like more selfish in this essay, and you have to give full credit of that action to yourself. But that full credit should be the real one, rather than if there was a contribution of someone and you are not acknowledging their efforts. You can acknowledge, but you can say the major efforts were from you. So that's most important. And and last, I would say, like in leadership essays, there are some don'ts. I would say first don't is that, like, don't define the leadership. I have seen many essays, they just define the leadership. For me, leadership is blah, blah, blah. Like, there's no need to mention like this, because the reading committee is already expert. They know what is leadership. You're not gonna taught them like what is a leadership. So try to don't mention like leadership. What is the leadership? Also try don't mention your role or title, like I was the manager, I was the CEO. No, they are not much more interested about your role. They are more interested about your actions, as I mentioned. So don't mention you can mention your designation, that's enough, but don't exaggerate that. And don't like I was a manager, I was supervising the 100 people. No need to mention that thing, because that will not create an impact. To the reading committee, most important are your actions. And third thing I would say, like if you have the real examples, like recent example, you should mention the recent example of leadership. Or if you have older example, but that's more impactful than the recent example, then you can mention the older example as well. So don't forget to mention the results also. And also the third last don't is that, like, don't exaggerate, like don't overemphasize the things, like because of me the participation increased to 100%, which is not real. So try to avoid these things. Be real. Like if because of your actions progress was 0.5%, you can mention because of me that this change happened. Even the change of 0.1% is also called a change. If change is up to 100%, again it's a change. So be real and be authentic. Yes, that's about the leadership. Then we go for the networking. Networking, like uh, I came across like again the paper is out, and leadership, in networking, what you have to mention, how you make the network, and how you contribute to that network, how you give the benefit, how the other get benefited from you, how you sustain the your relationship. Means there are 3 or 4 questions you should keep in your mind while writing the networking. Like आप नेटवर्किंग कैसे करते हैं, आप किसी दूसरे से जब नेटवर्किंग करते हैं तो उसी को उसको कैसे फायदा देते हैं, और उससे फायदा कैसे लेते हैं, और उस नेटवर्क का आपका जो रिलेशनशिप है उसको कैसे सस्टेन करते हैं. These are the simple questions. So I come across different like applications. They just write the attending the events. They consider this as a networking. No, this is not a networking. Like no, although it's a first part of first step of networking, but it's not networking. Many people write in there, they say, okay, I have attended like 10 conferences, then I have make friendships with like 100 people, I have exchanged the business cards, then I make the like a friendship or the connection on the LinkedIn. That's fair enough, but that's not the networking. Networking, like networking is a process, you know. Attending the events is an event, but networking is a full process that includes like 4 steps: connection, contribution, collaboration, and there is the continuation. So connection is the attending the events. Let's for example, let's take an example of 3 people. One is a weaker example, other is the stronger, third is the much more stronger example. Let's start with the weaker example. I'm saying I have attended Falang conference in that city, and I have exchanged my business card to the 100 people, and because of that, we became the friends. Now, this is a very weak example. You are just making the connections, not making the process of whole networking. Let's let's start with some stronger example. I'm giving, like I have attended a conference. I have I met with one person, like Flam, one person. He was also working with my same area, like say example, teacher training program. So he was belonging to an organization which is focusing on the teacher training, and my organization is also focusing on the teacher training program. So I collaborated with him. I discussed why shouldn't we like have a joint session about the trainings. So I discussed with my management that I met with someone, and they are also doing the same activity in our same district. So we should collaborate with each other and make one activity. So because of me, because of my networking, we both organization collaborated with each other, and we gave the awareness about the teacher training, or give the teacher training to a number of people, and in low resources. Here I can see the connection, contribution, collaboration, and continuation. So this is a much more stronger example, because you got benefited from someone and someone got benefited from you. That's a win-win situation, because here you are not making the like connection with 100 peoples, like the first example, 100 people, but you just make the connection with one person, and because of that person you got benefited, and you have given benefit to them, and you like save the resources of both organization, because both of the organization were working on the same agenda, but they were not knowing. They were working in the same district, but they were not knowing. But because of you, your networking, you like scarce the resources, and you save the organization's resources. That's stronger. But that's again not the much more stronger. If you want like a pro example, or very strong example of networking, then let me give an example. Say for example, like I met two persons in conference. One person was belonging to an organization which was focusing on teacher training, and another person was like belonging to organization which was like focusing, say for example, on environmental education. So we three meet with each other, and we decided that we will discuss our agenda with our management, and then we will jointly make sessions or conferences about the teacher training, and that will also include the session about the environment friendly habits, for example. So because of you, like you made the network, and you three different organizations meet with each other, and they they shared their resources, they saved their resources, they get benefit to each other, and and they provide the benefit to a number of the uh, people. So networking, like there are two types of the networking. In first example, that's a very weak example. In second example, you done the networking with this called the vertical networking. In third example, you did networking that was the networking. So let me explain about the vertical and horizontal networking. Like I belong to the health department. I do networking with healthcare professionals. I do networking with the district health officer, for example. I do networking with the